Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. This is going to be my non-spoiler review for Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. You heard that correctly. No spoilers in this video, don't worry about it. However, in the comment section below, be careful. People might spoil the film in the comment section, but I will not say any spoilers in this video. Okay, let's get into this review. So, I gotta start off by saying this. I fucking love this movie. I really, really love this movie. I really do. Is it the greatest Star Wars film ever made? No. Is it one of the worst Star Wars films? Obviously not, because I love the film. It is one of the best Star Wars films we've ever had. Is it better than Force Awakens? I can't answer that question yet. Some people have said that it's better than The Force Awakens. I can't say that personally, because I've only seen the film once. And for me, I have to see a film multiple times before I decide where it ranks in a franchise or where it ranks personally in my list of favorite films of all time. So for right now, I can't answer that question, but possibly Rogue One might be better than Force Awakens, possibly after a few more watches from me, but we'll have to wait and see on that. But I will say it's one of the best ones I've ever done. I mean, it's really fucking good. And I'm going to say a lot of things people have already said. If you've seen reviews, you might hear me repeating stuff because I'm just being honest and truthful with you. This film really does connect very, very well to the original trilogy, and especially it really connects very, very well to A New Hope. It is fantastic. They do stuff in this film that really makes you look at A New Hope in a completely different way. And I think that's amazing because A New Hope is great as it is, but what this film does is it expands the world, in a sense, but it also starts putting pieces into place and setting stuff up. So when you go and watch A New Hope after Rogue One, a lot more things connect and you start to understand things more. And that's a phenomenal thing this film does, is that it expands the universe, introducing us to a ton of new characters, but having some familiar faces, but also introducing things that make more sense once you watch A New Hope. And you're like, holy crap. Basically, Rogue One is like the introduction to the trilogy of films you're about to watch. So, A New Hope, Empire, and Return are the trilogy, but Rogue One is the introduction. Like, it sets everything up so great. And I was kind of concerned for a bit, before I saw the film, I was kind of concerned because Gareth Edwards, he's a great director. I enjoyed Godzilla, the film he did previously before Rogue One. But some people did not like Godzilla based off of his direction of the film. And maybe that was him, maybe that was the studio, but I was just kind of like, is this film going to be received well? Because his previous film, even though I enjoyed it, people were kind of on it. So I was kind of worried if it wasn't going to be received well due to that fact that maybe he did some stuff. I don't know if it was Gareth Edwards. I don't know if it was the screenwriters. I don't know if it was Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, the president of Lucasfilm. I don't know who it was, but whoever came up with this film, whether it was a collaboration of the screenwriters, obviously the writers of the film, Gareth Edwards' direction, and Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, the president, all working together, if it's the combination that made this film the way it is, a round of applause. Holy crap, this film delivered. And I think the reason why people love this film so much is because it ties into the original trilogy, which people love the original trilogy. It's like the standard. It's the golden standard. It is on that high pedestal, all those films. So maybe that's a reason why people love this film so much, because it connects to the original trilogy. But I also think that it's loved because it is such a good film on its own because of the characters. The characters in this film are great, in my personal opinion. Some more developed than others, but overall, these cast of characters are phenomenal. Felicity Jones as Jyn Erso was amazing, and I loved her performance. I loved what she did, and I really felt for her character because you really get to see the development of her, and you get to see her go through some sort of a sort of transformation, if you will, and you get to see why she is the way she is, and they do it in a beautiful way. Another standout character has to be Alan Tudyk as K2SO the robot. Now, in the trailers, they show you a couple of funny lines, and they show you some moments with the character and go, this character might be comic relief, or this character could just be a one-liner type of bot, a one-liner character where it just says this stuff and it's supposed to, that's all it is. But they really developed that character very well. I mean, it is comic relief in a sense, but K2SO also has a personality that you get into and you dig, and you really enjoy that character. It's another standout character throughout this whole film. I also want to talk about Saw Gerrera, who was played by Forrest Whitaker. His character, I felt, was interesting at first, but as the film progressed and you saw more of his character, I started to kind of see his point of view and why he was the way he was in the film. And I'm not going to go into too many details, but I really enjoyed his performance. His voice might come off a little odd at first when you first get to meet him in the film, but I think that over time I got used to it because that's his character, and it just started to kind of grow on me in a sense. Krennic. Ben Mendelsohn. This guy is, he is in love with power. I was trying to find that word. He is in love with power. And his interaction with certain characters in this film and the interaction he has throughout the entire film with the Empire itself and with rebels he runs into, his character, it's just very fascinating to me. I wanted to learn more of his character. That was a character I wish they would have developed even more, because I kind of want to see a point of view of a character from the Empire that's not Darth Vader, that's not the Emperor. You know, you kind of want to see where he stands. Like, I would love to see a Krennic movie. I would love to see that, because I want to see his point of view, because we've seen the rebel side, we've seen the light side. I want to see him film directly about, sure, Krennic, that I want to see what he's been through and why he's fighting so much for power and why he's doing what he does. I want to know more about his character. Now, I know there's a book called Catalyst that goes into more of these characters. Like, it's Rogue One Catalyst, I think it's called, and it goes into more of these characters, but I kind of want to see a film developing it. You know, I'll read a book, but I want to see it on a film, you know what I mean? Now, the character everybody wants to hear about. I bet everybody was is reading reviews, watching reviews about one character that's in this film, Darth Vader. Now, I'm not going to go into details about his involvement in the film, because they barely show him in the trailer, and I don't want to go into too many details. But I will say this. One, if you love Darth Vader, you're going to love him in this movie. If you love the original trilogy, you're going to love him in this movie. If you just love the character in general, you're going to love this movie and his involvement. I wish I could say more. I know it's very vague, but they used him very well in this movie. James Earl Jones, back as Darth Vader, sounded phenomenal. And I love the fact they did not reveal any lines that he says in the movie in a trailer. I'm glad they didn't, because lines that he speaks in the film and some of the things he says gets into some spoilery territory. So I'm glad that they didn't just randomly make James Earl Jones voice a certain line that will fit in a trailer just to put it in a trailer. I like the fact that they just had the breathing. It makes sense. But you've probably heard online or seen online that there's a certain scene that Vader's a part of, and I won't go into any details, but holy fucking shit. I was losing my mind. There's a lot of moments in this film that are just epic, on an epic level. And I really, really want to get into it, but I won't. Not here. But I will say this. Rogue One is a standout film. Yes, it's a standalone film. It's a spinoff. But it stands out. It really does. It does so many things right. Is the film perfect? No. But there are so many things that it does right in terms of developing new characters, setting up certain elements, like I've mentioned previously, connecting to A New Hope, that it just feels epic. And for me, the third act, as everyone talks about, the third act, the last 30 some odd minutes of the film, holy shit. Like, the word Star Wars matches perfectly with the third act. Wow. I really wish the film was longer. Sometimes people will complain that a film is too long, that they should cut some parts out. For me personally, I would not have minded a 3-hour version of this film. I'm not going to lie to you. If we would have gotten more things that we saw in this film and it ended up being a 3-hour version, and we got more scenes and more stuff that is like this film put in as scenes and expanding the film even to make it better, sign me up. I will watch. I don't know if they'll do this, but if there are scenes that were cut out of this film that they could put back in that will fit and still make the film feel as it is, make it feel dark, gritty, funny at times, epic, beautiful, amazing, all those words, I want the extended cut of this film. I don't think they'll do it. But if there was a way they could add in any scenes that could put back into the film that still is relevant and will make sense, I want it. I want it. I should have mentioned this up top, but I will mention it now. This is a darker film. This is not a doom and gloomy Star Wars film. There are some funny moments and some great moments that make you just just bounce up and down in your seat and freaking out and clapping and losing your mind. But it is a darker, grittier film. But it still feels in the veins of being a Star Wars film. But it is on that darker side. So it's rated PG-13, and I will quote what a great Star Wars fan, Mark Ellis from the Schmoes Know, said on his review of the film, that on the PG-13 side, it's more towards an R rating than a PG rating. So it's PG-13, R, PG. It leans towards the R a little bit. There's some great reasons why, which I won't go into details here. But Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which I technically sometimes still call it Star Wars Rogue One, but as the title, Rogue One is a fantastic film. It just really blew me away how much I enjoyed this film. I want to see it at least one more time in the theaters. I mean, I might go see it even more than once in the theaters. More than one more time again. Because, I mean, I want to go back and experience this and see if I catch more things. There are certain characters I didn't talk about in this review that I kind of want to talk a little bit more in, that I actually want to talk about in a spoiler talk. So I will be, hopefully tomorrow, Saturday, uploading a spoiler discussion about this film. And I guess you call it a review, but more likely it'll be just me discussing other characters and certain things that I can't talk about in a non-spoiler review. But I will be uploading a review talking about other characters that I did not mention here. And then things that I obviously can't talk about scene-wise in this review. So I will leave it like this. Rogue One is awesome. What do I rate it? I'm thinking either a 9 out of 10 or a 9.5 out of 10. 9.25 out of 10, around that area. Once I watch it again, maybe my rating will change to be higher or lower. I don't know. But from what I experienced last night, it was beautiful. And I can't wait to see what the reception is of this movie. I can't wait to see how people were, like, a lot of people are being positive, but I want to hear from casual fans that are just casual Star Wars fans, how they receive this film. Because for me, as not a hardcore Star Wars fan, but getting there, I'm kind of in the middle of a casual to a hardcore. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm curious to know what the casual fans think. I know the hardcore fans are loving this movie. Some have issues, but wow. So I'm curious to see how the audience, the generalized audience, receives Rogue One. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Thank you so much for watching my review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Peace out.